only thing I know. My family and me love them, yeah, for sure.
What's good, YouTube? Valid Opinion TV, and I'm back with another reaction video for y'all today, man. Today I got a video titled Karketa Taylor went missing for 5 years, then this happened. Let's jump right into it.
Have you heard about this story on social media? A disturbing real-life version of Jordan Peele's Get Out. 5 years ago, Karketa Taylor vanished from her life in Missouri, leaving a void of questions in her wake. Then, like a ghost materializing out of thin air, she reappeared. Not as the confident woman she once was, but as a willing worker in the home of an elderly couple in rural Texas.
Sounds sketchy already. Missing over there working for an elderly white couple, knowing why she didn't reach out to the family. We gonna see.
Her family, hunted by her absence for half a decade, now finds themselves confronting an even more terrifying reality. The woman in the photograph, bruised, subdued, appearing somehow hollowed out. She bears Karketa's face, but not her spirit. As one social media commenter noted, it's giving Get Out vibes, and something just seems off. Is this a simple case of
See, I'm not bugging. I'm not bugging. That's what it's giving.
voluntary reinvention? A woman choosing to escape her past? Or is something going on here? A modern exploitation hidden behind the veneer of willing employment? As the digital world erupts with hashtags demanding answers and authorities find themselves powerless due to legal limitations, we peel back the layers of this modern mystery. What happens when the missing are found, yet somehow remain lost? This is the baffling case of Karketa Taylor. Hello, strangers. Welcome back to the Strange Bar and Grill. I'm your host, JP. Today's story is about
And I rarely see cases where people go missing for that long period of a time and, show up still alive. Usually they find them unalive and stuff like that, but that's good that she's still alive after all them years.
Karketa Taylor. Like many of you, this case popped up on my social media feed and left me stunned. What's going on here? Well, let's explore this case together. Karketa Taylor was, by all accounts, living a stable life. In her 40s, she was successful. She had a degree. She worked at Good Humor Briars for over 12 years, and she was a homeowner. Then approximately 5 years ago, she vanished without explanation. One family member of Karketa would say, Karketa had a whole life. She was educated, successful, had a great job. She wouldn't just walk away from everything. According to her family, there was no warning, no signs of trouble, no indication that Karketa planned to leave her life behind. For 5 years, they searched.
Sometimes I think people go missing too because they just don't have good relationships with their family members or whatever, and maybe they dealing with certain things they don't want to talk about. But in a situation like this where they still alive, I think sometimes they just decide to go missing, because why wouldn't you unless you being held against your will, why wouldn't you reach out to your family to just say, hey, I'm good? Maybe you guys on bad terms. You never know.
Searched for answers, but Karketa Taylor had seemingly disappeared without a trace. Then in April 2025, something extraordinary happened. A Facebook post surfaced showing Karketa alive, working in a home in Medina, Texas. The Facebook post read, Karketa Taylor has been a big help at our house for the past 3 months. She washes windows, floors, dishes. She shampoos rugs, mows lawns, and clears brush. She is a willing worker. Contact us if you're in the Medina area and need help. And
she's a willing worker.
Many of you that saw this post, the line, she is a willing worker, stands out.
Right.
Sounds bizarre. But on the flip side, maybe she asked them to post this because she's looking for work. But can you imagine the family's shock after coming across this post after 5 years? The post was made by Ada Smerek, an 81-year-old woman living in Medina, Texas. Ada is married to Percy Smerek, a retired Lutheran pastor who previously served at Trinity Lutheran Church in Stonewall, Texas until August 2021. The discovery sent shockwaves through Karketa's family and quickly gained attention online. Social media users began sharing the story with hashtags like #FindKarketaTaylor and #BringKarketa
Guys, the other day I was talking to one of my friends, and somehow in the midst of conversation, we started talking about the stress of like bills being due, especially when you're in between paychecks. One of his solutions for himself was Empower, and he started telling me about how you can get
The revelation of Karketa's whereabouts raised more questions than it answered. Despite the family's claim that Karketa had been missing for 5 years, my research found no official missing person report for her in national databases. Although I couldn't find a missing persons report, I did find legal records. Now, I can't confirm that these records are for the Karketa Taylor who been missing in the last 5 years, but in January of 2022, the Office of Child Support Enforcement filed a case against Karketa Taylor in Mississippi County, Arkansas, suggesting she had a child or children for whom she was responsible for supporting financially. Again, I can't confirm that that's the same Karketa, but the name is so unique, I can't imagine that there's a lot of Karketa Taylors out there. Additionally, an arrest record from November in 2020 in Orange County, California shows that a Karketa A. Taylor was arrested for resist/obstruct/delay peace officer. Now, and again, I can't confirm that this is the same Karketa in this case. Also, some online sleuths did find a mugshot of Karketa in Georgia and have been posting it on Facebook. Public records also indicate connections to a recovery center, suggesting Karketa may have been dealing with personal challenges. Online records show she was born in September of 1982, making her about 42 years old now. And she also resided in multiple locations, including Missouri, suggesting a potentially transient life in the years after her reported disappearance. Ada Smerek, the woman who posted about Karketa working in her home, is married to a man named Percy Smerek, a retired Lutheran pastor. The couple relocated to Medina, Texas in 2021 after Percy's retirement from Trinity Lutheran Church in Stonewall, where he had served for many years. Many on Facebook have been pointing out this post of Percy's online referencing a search for a kidney. Now, this was posted back in 2016, but it has alarmed some users and they think maybe Percy and his wife Ada are into some shady stuff. Online commenters have also questioned whether there might be a religious dynamic at play in this situation, thinking maybe there's ties to some sort of cult, because they say the Smereks look creepy and the photos look weird and almost like staged in some bizarre manner. But there is no direct evidence supporting these speculations of some type of cult situation. But the pictures do look creepy to me. I'm just gonna say that flat out. Karketa's family has expressed deep concern about her current situation. They claim that when they saw the Facebook post, they noticed visible signs of distress, including alleged damage to her hand and bruising to her eye. One would say, she doesn't even look like herself anymore. Something is seriously wrong. Why wouldn't she reach out to her family?
I was saying the same thing about some of that arrest footage. What if drug was a play? What if she was addicted, or and then the rehabilitation center she was linked to, if that was her? What if maybe she was addicted? I don't know.
We've been worried sick for years. According to reports, at least one family member managed to speak with Karketa after discovering the post, but the interaction only deepened their concerns when she declined to appear on video. Because one might ask, why won't she appear on video? There's some foul play, there's something weird, there's something strange going on here.
What's going on Facebook?
You said what?
I said, I don't know what they putting on there. I ain't heard nothing about it till about 9 o'clock tonight. But, I don't really have a whole lot to say about what's going on. You know, I've been out of the South for a while, so I really don't. I'm not on social media like that. You know, a friend of mine just put me on there. You know, to help me try to get a little extra cash.
You talking about Miss Ada, right?
Yeah, here and there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they was trying to say you a slave. We just had to clear that up.
Seriously.
Right.
Slave work. Do you understand? Do you understand the word that just come out of your mouth?
Right.
Slave. That's just not normal for someone to even use that word, you know, like that.
Yeah.
Not normal.
Yeah. So you said you all right, right?
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
Man, who this I'm speaking with? I'm trying to let Facebook know.
You on Facebook, Karketa?
You all right?
Yes, I'm okay.
All right, that's a bit.
If I can teach myself a new language while juggling fire, so can you. Well, not.
Yeah.
Let's point it out too. Why is he talking to her on a text-free app? I mean, you don't want them to have his number or something. What if you haven't spoken to your family in 5 years? That's what he's worrying about. Not having his number out there to the late, because that's clearly a text-free app.
Yeah, if they got you famous right now, you might need to make a page so you can clear it up.
Oh, well, I didn't make the mess. And if I did make the mess, I didn't try to.
Or maybe it's a social media call, like a Facebook phone call or something.
So I can let them know you all right.
You know, in the chat.
All right.
Well, send me a picture, a selfie.
Not everyone shares the family's interpretation of events, though. Some individuals claiming to know the situation have suggested that Karketa chose to distance herself from her family. This social media post supports that. She's okay, just trying to stack her funds. Her family knew where she was and don't know why Facebook is blowing this all up. Another comment stated, "She stayed with us briefly. She's been through a lot mentally and physically. She knows where home is. She doesn't want to come back." These conflicting narratives have created a complex picture. Is this a case of someone choosing to start over, or something more concerning? Law enforcement faces a difficult situation in cases like this. Since Karketa is an adult and appears to be alive and functioning, authorities have limited ability to intervene, even if family members are concerned. In cases where an adult appears to be voluntarily missing, law enforcement's hands are often tied. They can conduct welfare checks, but if the person indicates they're fine and don't want contact with family, there's little else they can do unless there's clear evidence of a crime. As Karketa's story spread across social media, many began to draw unsettling comparisons to the 2017 horror film Get Out, directed by Jordan Peele. In the film, a character named Georgina works as a housekeeper for a wealthy white family. She behaves oddly, displaying unsettling mannerisms and appearing to be under some form of control. It's later revealed that Georgina is actually inhabited by the consciousness of the family's grandmother through a sinister medical procedure. The comparison is hard to ignore. Online commentators immediately saw similarities between Karketa working as a willing worker for the Smericks and Georgina in Get Out. In both cases, you have a black woman seemingly serving an elderly white couple, appearing physically changed from her former self and exhibiting signs of distress. The parallel is particularly striking in a social media comment describing Karketa's situation as a modern-day Get Out scenario, a chilling reference to exploitation and control. Just as Georgina's true self occasionally broke through her controlled exterior in the film, some wonder if Karketa's allegedly bruised appearance and reluctance to video chat with family might indicate a similar inner struggle. What made Get Out so powerful was that it tapped into real anxieties about the exploitation of Black bodies and identities. When people make this comparison to Karketa's situation, they're expressing a legitimate fear about what might be happening to her beneath the surface. Is she truly there by choice? Is she somehow being controlled or manipulated? Are they in an actual cult? As of May of 2025, many questions remain unanswered about Karketa Taylor's case. Why did she disappear from her previous life? Was she never officially reported missing? What circumstances led her to the Smerick household in Medina? Is she truly safe and acting on her own free will? What is the nature of her current relationship with her family? And why does she seem to be hopping all over the United States? Is there mental health issues involved here? Is there substance abuse issues involved here? But what do you all think? Do you think she's just a grown woman that doesn't want to be?
So that's all I got for y'all, my people. Listen, man, listen. As crazy as this story may sound, honestly, well, I'll go with the narrative that she just don't want to be next to the family anymore. And you know, being that you had two family members saying, one said she stayed with them briefly, she don't want to go, she just don't want to be there, whatever. I'll go with that narrative. I don't know. And then, but I won't just ignore the other option that maybe something strange is going on. But I mean, 5 years and you don't reach out to anyone to say anything. And then, you know, the post, she's a willing worker, that kind of threw me off. But then again, she's saying maybe she doing home cleaning business and she, you know, wanted her business out there. I don't know, man. Let me know what you guys think in the chat, guys. And always, I appreciate you guys' support. Please help me get these videos out in the algorithm. This is still relatively a new channel, and I appreciate all you guys' support. And as always, God bless. Peace.
Loyalty the only thing I know. My family, yeah, me love them, yeah, for sure.